This is the Can-Am Ryker Rally, BRP's most aggressive three-wheeler. This one is a little bit different. The Ryker Rally is designed to go on and off-road and explore new riding areas. So, we brought it up to the mountains to test its on and off-road capabilities and put it in a special test between two proven off-road vehicles to determine just how much the Can-Am Ryker can rally. Starting off with the power plant, it's powered by the Rotax 900 Ace engine. This is a 900cc inline-3 liquid-cooled, fuel-injected engine with a claimed 82 horsepower and 58.3 pound-feet of torque. This 900cc engine is super linear power delivery. It's sort of electric-like feel. And that's in part because of the continuously variable transmission. So you're not shifting the thing, there's no clutch. You just crack the throttle and it continues to pull. The Can-Am Ryker Rally has 3 different ride modes. It's got Eco Mode, Rally Mode, and Standard. So when we came and hit the dirt, obviously we put it straight into Rally Mode. The first thing you'll notice is the rear tire can now spin. Traction control is limited, and so you can really light up the rear and sort of slide. It does still have stability control on. You can't eliminate that in any mode, but it's less intrusive. So it'll allow it to sort of fishtail and slide through corners. At some point, the stability control will take over if it feels the vehicle is getting a little too sideways. So the power delivery in standard mode and rally mode is really the same. The only difference is going to be in rally mode, the traction control is turned off and the stability control is less intrusive. Moving on to the suspension, the front end is going to be a double wishbone design with KYB HPG suspension with remote reservoir 4-piston compression adjustable dampening and preload adjustment. The suspension travel is 2.8 inches. And in the rear, it's a multi-link monoshock and swing arm setup with KYB HPG suspension with remote reservoir 4-piston compression adjustable dampening and preload adjustment with 7.05 inches of suspension travel. So on the road, the suspension was nice and plush. I spent a majority of my time on the stiffest suspension setting, and that gave me a good feel of what the front end was doing, what the tires were doing, and then in the rear, it kept the bike at a good riding height. It didn't blow through the stroke when you hit a big bump in the road or a transition in the freeway, and that just made it have a really comfortable ride. Because the Ryker Rally has 2 wheels up front, coming up here on the freeway, I noticed that one tire tends to pull on one side of the road and the other on the other side of the road. And this makes it feel really floaty and kind of constantly being pulled from one side to the other. And to alleviate this, you have to be adjusting sort of non-stop to maintain a straight line. And then when we get into the twisties, it felt even more foreign. As you come to initiate a corner, because you have so much traction up front, it really fights your handlebar input and wants to straighten it out. So mid-corner, you have to really be pushing on one side of the handlebar and pulling on the other to maintain that turning arc. Once I got on the dirt, I quickly realized that the stiff suspension setting was too harsh off-road. So I backed it out to the softest suspension setting, and that allowed the front wheels to just stay on the ground a lot more consistently. The handlebars don't get jostled from, again, a rut or a rock. And then in the rear, when you do hit a bump, it's a lot softer on your back. It doesn't bounce you out of the seat. It really became a lot easier to ride, and you could push the thing at a faster speed without feeling like it's gonna sort of bump you off. The handling off-road is completely the opposite of the handling on the road. Because the tires can sort of push and slide with the dirt, the tires are able to just feel a little bit more free, kind of push and slide. And with that rear tire wanting to spin in rally mode, the front end feels a lot lighter and it just feels a lot more agile off-road than it does on-road. The braking components on the Ryker Rally include a 270mm disc with a dual piston caliper up front on both wheels, and in the rear it's a 220mm disc with a single piston caliper. Unlike a motorcycle, the brake systems are not independent of each other. The front and the rear brakes are tied together through an electronic braking distribution system. And so what that does is it applies even braking pressure to all 3 wheels when you modulate the brake pedal on the right foot. It felt very foreign not having a brake lever at the handlebars. Relying only on that brake pedal on the right foot took some time to get used to, but once you do start putting trust in that brake pedal, you'll quickly realize that the brakes are really strong. It does have ABS system that you can't turn it off, but I never felt the ABS kick on the pavement. On the dirt, you will feel it if you lock up the tires. You will feel that system kick on, but this thing has really strong brakes. You do have to get pretty deep into the lever stroke, but once you do, you'll realize this thing stops on a dime. The ergonomics feel very similar to a jet ski or a quad. It's really comfortable, you're sitting upright. Because it has that ErgoFit system where you can slide the handlebar forward or back, just like the foot pegs, it allows it to fit a lot of different riders. For me, I had the handlebars all the way back for just a shorter reach. And then with the foot pegs, I brought them back a little bit further as well, so my legs weren't as extended. For the most part, it's really comfortable. You're just kind of sitting on it like you would a jet ski or a quad. The Can-Am Ryker Rally has a unique look. I think it looks really sharp. The addition of the rally wheels for 2023 was something that I think makes this thing look a lot more dirt worthy. There are a few gaps in the fenders, and the dash is really rudimentary. It is digital, but it doesn't show you a lot of information, but it is functional. You can switch between the 3 modes pretty quickly with the push of 1 button. And then you do have a RPM little gauge. It's not a tachometer where it really shows you where. It's just a digital reading that says where it is in the RPM range. It does have cruise control, which is a great feature for getting out to the dirt, going down the freeway. That's something that's really nice and I have used on the machine already. The Ryker Rally has been very surprising off-road. I did not anticipate it had these sort of dirt capabilities in its DNA. But to answer our question, we need to go conduct our special test. And that test is a good old-fashioned time trial race. Representing 2 wheels, the Honda XR 650L. Representing 4 wheels, the Can-Am Defender, also known as the Dirty Defender. We're down here on the dry lake bed. We have a preset course. We're gonna record lap times on all 3 vehicles, and that'll help us determine just how much the Can-Am Ryker can rally.
First up, the Honda XR 650L.
Third gear. This section's pretty fast. Gotta make sure we slow down for this right-hander. Woo! Whoa, the front just pushed. That was sketchy. Finish first. First you gotta finish. This is a fast left-hand sweeper. Oh man. And you gotta slow down for this. That's a tricky section. You gotta be careful with the front on this thing. Sort of street bias tire. A little bit wide, that's gonna hurt the time. Overshot this a little, but we'll throttle out. Now the fast section and the home straight. Gotta slow up for this, steer with the rear. And we're home.
The Honda XR 650L set the pace with a time of 1 minute 36.9 seconds. Gonna be tough to beat. Next up, the Can-Am Defender XT HD10.
All right, we're off. This thing actually gets going pretty quick. It's got some pretty beefy tires that hook up. Kind of feels flowing. Oh, we're gonna overshoot this corner. Woo! A little bit of body roll, a little bit of wiggle. Just kind of got to accept it. Let it do its thing. Oh shoot, right into the sun. Get on the brakes, get on the brakes. Steer with the rear, fully forward. All right. Kind of just got to accept that body roll. Oh, there we go. We got this left-hander, tightening apex, on the brakes, now on the gas. Oh, it stepped out. Don't want to flip the boss's whip. Oh, sliding a little bit. Whoa. Get hard on the brakes and then steer with the rear. There we go. Now we're fully forward. Now we got this tightening left-hander. Steer with the rear. All right, straight through the finish. Woo!
The Defender circulated the course in 1 minute 51.2 seconds. Not fast enough to keep up with the 2-wheel machine. Lastly, the Can-Am Ryker Rally.
All right, spinning off the start. Kind of expected that, but we're gonna make up for it. This is where the Ryker really does well at these faster flowing corners where you're not putting so much demand on those front tires. Oh, all right, we made it through. That was a little sketchy, but it still hangs. Cut back a little bit right, and then we got this fast sweeper left coming up right here. No, hard on the brakes. Get into the soft stuff. Oh, mid-throttle, mid-throttle. Keeping it from the stability control kicking in. And we're sliding out. That was pretty good. Slow down, little bit of throttle, little bit of handlebar turning. Oh, it's getting out of whack. You can't ask for too much from the front end or the understeer really will cost you. Oh, but there we go, that was pretty good. Power through there on the exit nicely. And this is where it really does well, are these faster flowing sections. All right, final corner. Let's see what we can do. There we go, steering with the rear, it's powering through and nice. All right, that felt pretty quick.
But was it quick enough? The Can-Am Ryker Rally set a time of 1 minute 49.5 seconds. The Can-Am Ryker Rally managed to edge out the Defender XT HD10 for second place, but was 12.5 seconds slower than the XR650L. So what does this all mean for the Can-Am Ryker Rally? In short, it exceeded our expectations and delivered on what the marketing effort promised. A three-wheeler that is off-road capable. Is it limiting? Of course. It will not keep up with an experienced rider on two wheels. But that's not the objective. The Ryker Rally is designed as an alternative option to traditional motorcycles and delivers a riding experience like nothing else. One that is neither car or motorcycle, but an entertaining combination of both. Whether you ride two wheels or four, don't knock this three-wheeler until you try it. You just might like it.